I want to get rid of my brain fog. You know that feeling where you're all groggy, you can't focus on anything, and all you want to do is curl up in your bed and be a potato and just scroll on TikTok. I've got that feeling right now, and I really don't want to be in that state. I think partly the reason why I'm so brain foggy right now is because I've spent the last 24 hours scrolling on TikTok late at night, not getting enough sleep, binge watching stuff on Netflix, caffeine, junk food, all the shitty stuff you shouldn't do to yourself. And I'm now in a state where I can't focus on my schoolwork, and I can't even focus on recording a YouTube video. But I've got 4 main things that I have done in the past to get rid of my brain fog, and they usually work. So I'm gonna go try them all after this video, and hopefully they'll work for you as well if you're also feeling brain foggy or think you might feel brain foggy in the future. So the first thing I do is turn off my phone, my laptop, TV, put them in a different room, and try and get away from all that stimulation and little dopamine hits that you get from all that stuff. And this is a big one for me because I'm so prone to just scrolling on TikTok and Insta Reels and whatever, and just sitting there for hours. I can sit there for an entire night, and I have before. When I was like 14, it was fucking disgusting, but I'm really prone to that. So that's the first thing I do. I also, weirdly, you might not agree with this, but I also turn off any music or podcasts or anything like that, and just try and have a little bit of silence and clarity to try and clear my head. And usually I'll go sit outside for a little bit, just process my thoughts, think through stuff, and let my brain kind of catch up from all the stimulation. And this kind of works for me. And then the second thing I try and do is get some sort of exercise. So for me, this is either going for a run or hitting a workout, going to training, something like that, because that gets you pumping. It gets you in a bit of a better mood instead of like, oh, I'm such a potato. You're in a bit of a like, I can actually do things. Go for a run, you clear your head, you just feel a little bit better about yourself, and you've also got those little endorphins, whatever, going for you. And then after that, I usually do some sort of cleaning. So this can be like cleaning yourself, having a shower, shave, anything like that, just making yourself feel clean and nice. And then also cleaning your room. So getting all the dirty clothes off your floor, making your bed, putting all your stinky clothes in the wash. You just feel a little bit better knowing that you've got a nice baseline of a clean room and feeling clean yourself. And then the last thing I do is I document the brain fog. So I talk to a camera, I write it down in my journal, I do something to document it and get it out of my head. So the thoughts that I'm having, I write it down, record it, whatever, which kind of lets me, it helps with processing the thoughts in my head and letting myself focus on something. And it's also good to look back on and remind myself why I avoid scrolling on TikTok and why I avoid doing all that dopamine stuff, because it gets me in a state where I can't even focus. But the real goal for me is to actually just avoid brain fog completely, to never have to do any of this stuff because I'm in that state. I want to do it naturally, but I want to not have to get myself out of that brain fog state. And part of that is realizing what causes the brain fog. So for me, staying up late, not getting enough sleep, scrolling on Insta, TikTok, and like that dopamine stuff, doom scrolling, whatever you want to call it, YouTube, TV, junk food, caffeine, anything like really stimulating, tends to give me that feeling of brain fog. So avoiding that stuff in the first place is kind of the goal here. And that might be the same for you. So if you've got stuff that makes you feel foggy and not in the right headspace, which it's probably the same stuff, honestly, like sugar, unhealthy junk food, dopamine, sugar, junk food, TV, YouTube, like, and social media, TikTok, all that stuff. It's usually pretty similar for most people. So if you can just avoid that stuff in general, or at least try and reduce the amount of time you spend on it, or even just try and like get your morning good. So don't look at your phone, don't watch stuff during the morning, and then after 12, you can do whatever you want, but at least you had those few hours in the morning that you got stuff done and you weren't in that brain fog state, and then just expanding it from there, because that's kind of what I've tried to do in terms of getting my morning right, getting a couple of hours of homework or something in before I go to do that stuff. And a lot of the time after I do that stuff in the morning, I genuinely feel a little bit better, and I won't go onto Instagram or YouTube or stuff anyway, because I'm just in a good mood. So yeah, de-stimulate yourself, get rid of the distracting stuff in your environment, phone, laptop, TV, whatever, junk food as well. Exercise, clean your room, get yourself clean, and document. It could help, I don't know.